I voted for Donald Trump.
Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood is typically bustling with customers. Not today.
People are scared.
Owner Wilkinson Sajor says it's not just the clientele. After 34 years in business, he's lost his entire management team at 7 locations and will likely have to shut down 2 stores due to the end of temporary protected status.
The end of TPS means for me that my future in the hospitality business is almost going to be non-existent.
On Sunday, federal officers made an immigration arrest outside one of his restaurants.
What would you say to the president that you voted for?
He sold to me that he is a businessman and that he will be making business decisions.
Do you regret your vote?
Yes, I do.
These jobs could have been held by those who are American.
Ha! It's a joke. I got 4 people that's been gone. Ask me how many Americans are tearing my door down looking for a job. My biggest issue in this industry is the Americans just don't want to work. They don't, especially the service industry. If that was the case, why would I be in terror in my mind and so pessimistic about opening more businesses when all of this is coming to light? There ain't no long lines with Americans saying, I want to come work at Chef Creole. There isn't. And I can tell you that other businessmen will echo the same thing. Everyone is saying the same thing. There's no.
Then why don't you hire Haitians to work for you? If Americans are so lazy, since that's the stigma that y'all like to put on Americans, it seems, and you stuck to that, and now you're about to go out of business, and you are mad that Americans don't want to work for you. Could it be because of your attitude towards calling them lazy? And who would want to work for somebody that would offend them, that is just as black as they are and need the business just like they do? And now you're in danger of going out of said business because of who you voted for and what you thought was going to work out for you. Why isn't everything going the way that you thought it would, sir?
Americans that want to work. They just don't. And I can see why. They're free. They're free to be complacent. They're free to say that I don't have a 911 in my life tomorrow. I can say, let me go look for another job after I've given these people maybe 3 months of my time. But I'm just going to leave them hanging.
Free to be complacent. So that means you want somebody to be stuck or contracted to work at your business and not allowed to elevate somewhere else, doing something else is the problem. And depending on how much you pay, that's another reason why they're probably not there. Because I would love to know how much the people that work under you make. And in the food and beverage industry, where I have personally worked, these people are making between $2 and maybe $5 an hour. And that is not enough, sir, to cover a mortgage and a car, no car insurance, or any other expenses that you may have. That is why people like me went to school and decided to do something far advanced and away from food and beverage, because nobody can do that forever, nor do they want to, unless that is something that they simply love.
And maybe go to another place and try to look for a job. They have the freedom to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So don't tell me that there are Americans complaining about working. Don't tell me that, because I am in the industry and I know better.
Wow, because he knows so much. It sounds so dumb because he knows all of us individually. He has personally had dialogue with all of us, y'all. So he knows for a fact that we ain't out here complaining or we are just we're free. Of course, we move around. Why would we stay somewhere stuck, sir? Why? Because what you're saying doesn't even make sense. It says here, per the neighborhood talk, neighbors, Haitian Bohemian chef Wilkerson Ken Sayor, owner of Chef Creole in Miami's Little Haiti, says the Trump administration's immigration policy have hurt his restaurant. Sayor said the expiration of temporary protected status work permits for Haitians has contributed to the decrease in business. Not Americans, not the people that you're calling lazy, but they're saying that's what contributed to the decrease in your business and has nearly caused him to lose his entire management team. He also says a recent ICE detention near his restaurant scared away customers after a video of the incident led to rumors that ICE had raided his business. He told CBS, "You are taking key people, and now you are giving people the impression that it's not even safe to come to my business." No, you're also contributing to that by saying that Americans are lazy and that they don't want to work, and that you know us so well that we do all this different stuff that you accused us of that don't even make sense. He told CBS, Sarah, who previously voted for Trump, says he was under the impression that Trump was a businessman who would be making sound business decisions. However, he says he now regrets his vote. He is calling for a reassessment of the immigration policy, saying, let's take a little bit more time. Let's try to figure out how we can fix this without it hurting our economy as a whole. And you didn't make it any better. Who's going to want to work for you? So it says when the temporary protected status benefits were lifted for 300,000 Haitians in the U.S., restaurant owner Wilkerson Sayer said he lost 4 employees as a result. A gap he said is hard to fill. Why would it be hard to fill for you, though? Is it because the way that you talk, because the way that you communicating to this reporter who's looking at you like the American, when you say Americans just don't want to work, he's squinting his eyes like, okay, so I'm here working and I'm in front of you conducting this interview. And so far you have one of us that are at work today making time to interview you, sir. So it's like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? That you would sit there, you rather criticize Americans because you're upset at the choices that you made. This is what you did. And you want people to be accountable for how you voted. And now you're another one that's effing around and finding out, I see. Instead of you working with your counterparts, the Black Americans, working together, because that's how we have to be in this world. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that you're Haitian. They still see you as a Black ninja, you know? Sorry to tell you, some people need to hear this, but they still see you as that. Driving through a neighborhood and they see you, they're going to call 911. And they're not going to care about who you are or what your status is in America. They just know they see a Black man that doesn't belong amongst the marshmallows. Okay? So if we can't work together, then we just gonna be screwed, y'all. We're just gonna be screwed. And that's just what it is. Because they don't see no other way around what's going on. All these different sets of Black people not trying to come in and work with other Black people to come together to create something that could have benefited you and worked out for you amongst other Black Americans. You wouldn't have to worry about it. And you go along and criticize Americans, really trying to criticize Black people because they don't want to work for you. And no telling how much you're paying. It's probably not a lot. because they're not settling for your pennies. You're upset. Nobody cares, sir. Nobody. Nobody's gonna cry when they shut the door and padlock the doors on your business. Okay? This was y'all. Y'all have been voting for this man for the last 10 years. And they said that Trump to Haitians, he said he'd be our champ. Many now feel like chumps. And that is what public media is saying about you all, says WLRN. He goes on to say Donald Trump won a surprising number of Haitian voters in 2016 and in 2024. But since then, he's burned a lot of bridges into little Haiti. Will it burn him next week? In September 2016, then Republican president candidate came to the Miami's Little Haiti and made an unexpected pitch to Haitian American voters who have historically backed Democrats. I'm running to represent Haitian Americans, Trump told a supportive crowd at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. I really want to be your greatest champion, and I will be your champion. And it worked surprisingly. An estimated fifth of Haitian voters in Florida and many elsewhere in the United States cast ballots for Trump. But it didn't take long for the President Trump to start burning his bridges with Haitians. Less than a year after he took office, Haitians were protesting in front of his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach. They were angry that he moved to end the temporary protected status, or TPS, that had been given to Haitians in the U.S. after Haiti's catastrophic 2010 earthquake. That he'd accelerated deportations of Haitians, accelerated, honey, and that he called Haiti a boo-boo hole. A boo-boo hole country. It hurt. It was a visceral hurt, says Pierre Imbert, one of the Haitian Americans who voted for Trump and now regrets it. President Trump, unfortunately, has been horrible to Haitians, he says. Imbert, who was born in Haiti and lives in Ventura, is a founding director of the Yadi Community Trust and an NGO based in North Miami that promotes development in Haiti. He's a registered independent, and despite the anti-immigrant and race-baiting rhetoric that drenched Trump's 2016 campaign, he voted for Trump, hoping he changed decades of failed U.S. policy in Haiti. Failure, Imbert adds, that was especially frustrating after the earthquake, when U.S.-led reconstruction projects seemed to ignore regular Haitians like his relatives there. Close family members put together in Haiti a supermarket serving an area that was deprived and then folded because small and mid-sized business enterprises couldn't get the assistance that they needed. Imbert recalls it made it more difficult to nourish hope, and Trump presented himself as a viable alternative, a champion of Haiti causes. It says that Pierre later states that I voted for Trump in great defiance of my friends, my colleagues, and family expectations. And I have had 4 years to pay for it. Oh, yes, you have. And you're going to continue. But Imbert says Trump's disdainful neglect of Haiti since then has only helped worsen its poverty and political chaos. Trump's vulgar remark about Haiti was the low point. A betrayal that hurt more, Imbert says, because he going out on a personal limb to support Trump. It was great defiance of my friends, colleagues, family expectation, he says. And I had 4 years to pay for it. Imbert says this time he'll vote for Trump's Democratic opponent. Again, of course, this was back in 2016. But if we fast forward to now, they voted for him again. And we know this. because he's back in office. So it's like y'all felt one way, but nothing really changed because he in 2016 Trump won Florida by a little more than 100,000 votes. His boost in Haitian community might have helped him over the top. In 2020, the apparent drop in enthusiasm could hurt Trump in a Florida race that looks to be a close, if not closer, they said then. But it's like, okay, what are y'all learning? They're all sharing why they voted for him because they all thought he was going to be their champion. MJ holding a Haitian flag in the front of the Greetings from Springfield, Ohio mural near the polling center where he cast a vote for the Republican nominee on Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. And I would like to know how that's going for you. For nearly 2 decades, MJ and his family lived on the south side of town after relocating from Miami's Little Haiti into Ohio. Drawn by lower cost of living, more jobs, and opportunity to be closer to family already in Columbus and Dayton, the family of 5 led a quiet life, working hard as store clerks, housekeepers, and teachers. But earlier this year, as summer began, their neighbors who displayed Trump yard signs began to openly criticize MJ's family, saying they were straining local resources as more Haitians arrived in the town of 60,000. MJ himself, a Republican, said he also began getting anti-immigrant and ethnic slurs hurled at him online. I have a Haitian license plate and sticker on my car, said MJ. Sounding exhausted, I have been shouted and honked at while driving and received threats on Facebook by anonymous accounts. Yet, unbeknownst to the MAGA neighbors and online trolls, MJ, who asked that his full name not be used for fear of being shunned by fellow Haitians, said he and his Republican family support Donald Trump for president. Last Wednesday, MJ walked out of the doors of the Clark County Board of Elections at 3130 East Main Street, a small Haitian flag in his hand, and he had just cast his ballot for Trump. This situation is bad for us because we don't even rely on public consensus for food or health insurance benefits, he said, referring to certain help that the newcomers have received, a silver of red in the sea of blue. By a large, the majority of Haitians at the poll site that day said they were casting votes for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. The sentiment aligns with recent data gathered in a national survey, the first of its kind about Haitians, which showed that Haitian Americans rate Democrats more favorably over Republicans. The survey also showed that 55% of Haitian Americans support more immigration from Haiti, but about 22% oppose it. Walking around the poll site on October the 23rd, several people speaking in Creole said they would vote Democratic. At least one was highly critical of Haitian Trump voter. Okay. Democrat-led programs such as the TPS, the Temporary Protected Status, and the Humanitarian Parole Process, the Biden program, are among the reasons Haitians feel supported. There are also the triggers that Trump and the right-wing base have characterized for opening the borders and for bringing more Haitians to places like Springfield. MJ's heart was not inclined towards those policies either. His concerns align with those who they say they care more about the economy than immigration as a top issue. He and his family believe that the current administration is bringing in too many new people without adequately addressing the needs of those already living here. Despite Trump's differing views on the Haitian population, MJ still believes his family will be able to lead an affordable lifestyle with Trump as president again. The family has survived the past couple of years, but economic concerns have led to feelings of abandonment. At the moment, he says finding a job in this market has been crucial for his sisters since they graduated college. Trump gave us a lot of money during COVID, he said, recalling how his family received $5,000 in several stimulus checks during the pandemic. Amazing. They paying y'all to vote for them. You know that, right? They're basically paying for your support. You know that, right? See, they can't pay us that are already here because they know how our demographic is here. Even if they pay us, we're still gonna vote how we vote. Oh Lord, that's why some people here did want to check, because that was the only way they was gonna vote for Trump. That's the only way they wanted to vote for him, because they were more concerned about a damn check than their own life's dependency against Project 2025. And that's why we are where we're at. Where the economy is where it's at, everything's high, the food is bad, you can't eat anything. We have a recall every week, and everybody's looking confused. Now they passed the law in Texas at the first of the month, where if you're caught with THC, you will be a convicted felon, even if it's your first time, if you probably never had a criminal record. And from the first offense to the fourth offense, you will do time, and you will be a convicted felon, which means you won't even be able to vote. The only reason why they're getting rid of you at this point is because you serve them no more good, and they know how you're going to vote. So they rather get rid of the votes that's going to benefit the other side than keep you here and lose. Going on, inflation is high, he continued. Of course it is. Listen, several conservative views. They're letting boys join girls' teams, MJ added, referring to a trans person on a local sports team. Oh my God. Why is he even concerned about this? He's very conservative. MJ's father has also told him about Bill and Hillary Clinton destroying Haiti's economy through their involvement over the years. The critique is a perennial objection that first emerged in the 2016 elections when Hillary Clinton was on the ballot. At the time, many Haitians blamed the Clintons for various crises in Haiti, including the botched recovery after the 2010 earthquake. That's when the family swore to vote Republican and help elect Trump in 2016. Oh boy. He's talking in Creole with Yokai. He say she said MJ in Creole, meaning they left us high and dry. You getting left high and dry now again. And it's been more than once. MJ's views echo those of others who support the Republican Party groups like Haitians for Trump mentioned protecting women and children, supporting the police, and deporting illegal immigrants. The Haitian Times has reached out to the head of Haitians for Trump, Maggie Nichols, and the Trump campaign. Neither has responded to the request for comment since over the past month. In February 2025, the Trump administration terminated the Temporary Protected Status, TPS, the designation for the people fleeing countries experiencing extreme armed conflict or disaster that gave temporary immigration status to over 300,000 Haitians. The termination was immediately challenged in court, and some hope followed this spring when a bill to extend TPS passed the House with the help of 10 Republicans. And they're like, we're going to have to make a choice between money, and the future of this country and the future of the Republican administration. Then last month, the U.S. Supreme Court upended the fight. It sided with the Trump administration, effectively decreed that Haitians living in the U.S. through the TPS must return to Haiti, in a country in the thick of a food insecurity crisis and ongoing gang violence. It's not as if officials in the Trump administration don't know about the situation in Haiti. The U.S. State Department advises Americans not to even travel to Haiti due to the risk of crime, terrorism, kidnapping, and unrest. After the news broke, I reached out to the Ulysses to find out what this moment means for Haitians. This is per Mother Jones. What it is like to navigate a Republican Party that widely celebrated the end of TPS, and where he is finding hope at this time. Oh my goodness. And it says, how would you describe the current moment for a Haitian living in the U.S.? It is very difficult. It is a very difficult moment. Many of them feel betrayed because they were expecting a better outcome from the Trump administration than Biden. Many of them voted for Trump. We supported him, and he pledged to help Haiti, to be Haiti's greatest champion, and that never materialized. We believe that Biden had an opportunity and Obama to do something to create a pathway to citizenship. But instead, they have that program, TPS, and the other program, Biden program, that didn't really help Haitians. And then moving forward, the next term, Trump 47, we were expecting better. But things got worse. And that's why people feel betrayed and not happy. We deserve better. I mean, I'm trying to see, what were they expecting? That's my thing. This is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. And I'm trying to understand what they were expecting. And so I'm trying to find the recording so y'all can hear this. So, okay, listen to this. It's about 4 minutes.
The Latin America Report is made possible by MBAF, CPAs, and advisors.
This is WLRN News. I'm Tim Padgett.
I'm running to represent Haitian Americans. I really want to be your greatest champion, and I will be your champion.
4 years ago, then Republican candidate Donald Trump came to Miami's Little Haiti and made a pitch to Haitian American voters, who usually vote Democrat. And it worked. Surprisingly, an estimated fifth of Haitian voters in Florida and many elsewhere in the U.S. went for Trump. But it didn't take long for President Trump to start burning his Haitian bridges. A year after he took office, Haitians protested in front of his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach. They were angry that he'd moved to end the temporary protected status, or TPS, that had been given to Haitians in the U.S. after Haiti's epic 2010 earthquake, and that he'd accelerated deportations of Haitians. Then Trump called Haiti a whole country.
It hurt. It was a visceral hurt.
Pierre Imbert is one of the Haitians who voted for Trump and now regrets it.
President Trump, unfortunately, has been horrible to Haitians.
Imbert was born in Haiti and lives in Aventura. He's a founding director of the IET Community Trust. It's an NGO based in North Miami that promotes development in Haiti. Imbert is a registered independent. He voted for Trump in 2016, hoping he'd change decades of failed U.S. policy in Haiti. Failure, Imbert says, that was especially frustrating after the earthquake, when U.S.-led reconstruction projects seemed to ignore regular Haitians like his relatives there.
Close family members put together in Haiti a supermarket serving an area that was deprived and folded because small and mid-sized business enterprises couldn't get the assistance that they needed. It made it more difficult to nourish hope, and Trump presented himself as a viable alternative.
But Imbert says Trump's disdainful neglect of Haiti only made its impoverished chaos worse. Trump's vulgar remark about Haiti was the low point, a betrayal that hurt more, he says, because he'd gone out on a personal limb to support Trump.
It was in great defiance to my friends, my colleagues, and family expectations, and I have had 4 years to pay for it.
Imbert says now he'll vote for Trump's Democratic opponent, Joe Biden, and that's also a change from 2016. That year, many Haitians, even if they didn't support Trump, stayed home not to vote for Hillary Clinton. She and her husband, former President Bill Clinton, were unpopular with Haitian Americans. Their nonprofit Clinton Foundation was widely criticized for its work in post-earthquake Haiti. The international community pledged billions of dollars for Haiti's reconstruction, but Haitians feel there was a lack of transparency and accountability in how it was spent. The Clintons deny any wrongdoing, but many Haitians associated them with the U.S. and international mishandling of Haiti.
There was a feeling of exploitation.
Gilbert St. John is a Haitian American scientist in Miami. He works with the Haitian American Voter Empowerment Coalition.
2016 represented a burgeoning movement within the Haitian American community to hold their elected representatives accountable. That backlash against the Clintons was a manifestation.
St. John says it also reflected frustration that Washington rarely consults the Haitian diaspora.
To have Donald Trump, a major U.S. presidential candidate, and actually come visit the community was of significance.
So Biden made a point of visiting Little Haiti himself this month. Trump, who is much less welcome in Little Haiti these days, has not visited during this campaign. Haitian diaspora groups also sent Biden a letter this month laying out the issues they want him to address if he wins, such as TPS. But even if far fewer Haitians are expected to vote for Trump this time, the Haitian expat who helped organize his visit here in 2016 has no regrets.
We are facing two parties, Democrat and Republican, who don't see us Haitian as allies.
Ringo Caillard is a government lobbyist in North Miami. He feels if Haitians split their vote, neither party will take them for granted or ignore them.
We cannot put all our eggs in one basket.
Some Haitians do still plan to put their votes in Trump's basket next week. I reached out to at least a half a dozen of them, but they didn't want to talk. That drop in enthusiasm could hurt Trump in a race as close as Florida's always is. I'm Tim Padgett in Miami.
The Latin America Report is made possible by MBAF, CPAs and advisors.
And that was a report from Tim Padgett with the WLRN Public Media, my source about the Haitians. And he reports about now and then, 2016. That's how they voted. That's how Biden got in. And I don't know what happened to what made them change once Biden got out, because they didn't want to vote for Kamala. It just, none of it makes sense why they would switch it up, and it got worse. It got worse for them. It didn't get any better. It got no better. And now they're making them leave. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not funny. People are going to be displaced from their family and their way of living and their jobs. And they're going back to a country that we know is violent. And with all their worldly goods, we know those people are going to be looking for them to take stuff away, which puts them in danger. And so they upheld it, but then they passed the law to go ahead and proceed with getting rid of the status, the TPS program. And I guess the Republicans used the Haitian community for what it was worth, and now they feel like they don't need them for whatever reason. I guess because they wanted them to vote for them. And another reason why he could be doing this is because they voted for Biden. So he's in that house just basically getting his get back at everybody. I never seen a grown man be somebody that's supposed to uphold an office and supposed to be fair, even if you don't care for the people that you're serving for, because that's why you're there for everyone, every American, not just the far few between. And you get in this office and you get mad and jump up and down and whine because people didn't agree with anything you did and you lost that term. And you're upset about that. And you want to get back at everybody through these different policies. And that's dangerous. And I don't understand how the Senate and the House could be letting this happen. You should not be able to hold a job and abuse that job in this way. If a teacher did that, they would be fired. If a police officer did that, they would be fired most times. If I did that in my profession, use my job to take it out on people that I care for in my job, I would be fired. Using whatever they did against me towards them, they would fire me. So I don't understand why he can't face some type of discipline for this. And maybe next time when it's time to vote, then the Haitians will know better. But if you still want to play this game with your future and literally your livelihood, this is how it's going to be. Keep voting for him to the point where he eventually gets you all out of America. But like I say, nobody deserves to go through this because this is stressful. And this could mentally mess people's heads up. And I just feel bad for any children that are having to go through this on all sides that are having to deal with deportation. I looked at the news last week and saw how a family, they just willingly deported themselves because they were just tired of waiting for when the hammer was going to drop. That they were like, I'm going to leave. I had a protective status too, and nothing's happening. I'm just going to leave until whatever happens. And that's sad because he had to literally pack up his family. Those people, you could tell they worked for a living. They owned a house and cars. And it's like, how do you move all that somewhere that's not like where you came from? And it's sad to see all this happening. And it hurts because people was encouraging people to vote, not to hurt you, but to help. This wasn't to hurt anybody. And we got to be able to unite Black Americans, Haitians, all of us against the evil that is in this world that is seeking to hurt, destroy us, put us out on the street, have us losing our jobs, causing it trickle down effect to even your children can feel it, and they're stressing and they can't think or be able to learn at school because they're worried that some ICE agents are going to come into school and take them away, like we seen last year with the little boy. Or was it this year? And it was either early this year or last year with the 5-year-old boy that was literally taken out of the school, and they had him at a detention center. Like, this affects everybody when you vote for something that you think is going to protect you, but it really ended up hurting you and your family and the people in your own community. So, yes, guys, I'm going to go. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I mean, this is a sad situation. We can make light of it. And I could just say all typical things like you should have known better or we told you so. But it's like, I believe in us collaborating and working together. If we could get together as the people that want to fight for this country and make everything right, nothing can stop us. We will be unstoppable. So let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. And be sure to like and subscribe to the video. And I will see you in the next one. All right. See you later. Have a good day.